Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks Best Country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, sponsored by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, Sarah and Diana this morning. I almost said Diana Foreheads. That would have been weird. Ethan, my other half, is off. So thank you, Diana Tyndall, as it turns out.
I feel like we could be sisters, though. Seriously.
We could be. We could definitely be sisters. That is the truth. And we both have dark hair. So,
yeah,
you know. All right. Ready to get to it?
Let's do some news.
Yeah. That's very Ethan. Mm-hmm. All right. This is an interesting story. Missouri's Attorney General has filed felony gambling charges against a Greene County convenience store owner after investigators found a dozen illegal slot machines inside. The case targets a Brookline business accused of violating state law and local ordinances by allowing gaming machines on site. State and local officials say this is part of a broader crackdown on illegal gaming across the entire state. Springfield police hope the move pushes other businesses to remove the machines and follow the law. The state is also seeking a court order to permanently ban gambling activity at that location.
Yeah, I wonder what the payouts were.
That's funny.
Illegal.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it,
guys?
Yeah. Did you make enough to pay your now court cost? You know,
I don't know. Well,
probably not.
On to this. 3 Southwest Missouri men are facing felony charges. On to this. After months long of investigation into a livestock theft in Texas County, authorities say the suspects stole cattle and stole them under different names last summer. A grand jury indicted all 3, and they have been since arrested and are being held on bond. Investigators say the case involved multiple sales of multiple stolen animals across the region. Anyone with information about livestock theft is urged to contact state officials. I have so many questions on this. Renaming, like old Bessie over there. She's got that heifer has that spot. You know, that one was not named Bessie.
Right. I mean, cattle theft is crazy
though.
I'm
not trying to undermine it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, I remember some cattle theft stories in the Lamar area many, many moons ago, and the amount of money that
walks off your property. Literally. Because it's might be a cow or a chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. The cows are a big deal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. A major tax overhaul plan is moving forward in Jeff City after clearing the Missouri House. The proposal would phase out the state income tax and expand sales taxes to help kind of make up that difference of revenue for the state. It'll include taxes on more services and digital goods. If approved by the Senate, the plan does have to go to voters who will have the final say. Supporters say it modernizes the tax system and allows you to keep a little bit more in your pocket. Critics warn that it will raise costs, though, for most Missourians, many of them who don't necessarily have a good income, and then they're going to be paying more for goods. So we shall see. That issue is expected to be quite the debate as it moves ahead.
Yeah. Interesting.
You got a thought on that?
There's too much I don't know about it to have probably a good idea on
educated idea.
Yeah. I need more information, I feel like.
I do too, really. I lived in a state without income tax and I loved that so much. However, absolutely it is a thing that it will tax more. It'll be more tax on people who don't necessarily have even a steady income, a solid income on goods. So I don't know that it's helpful for everybody. Selfishly, when I first heard that, I was like, yes, please. And then I'm like, ooh,
how does it affect those in the
because I mean, we're still paying the tax also elsewhere. I mean, myself included, you, all of us, but just shifts it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But you're right. The good news is on tax issues, I do feel like you can get the education very easily.
Yeah.
Because the numbers are the numbers.
That's fair. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's kind of like the whole daylight savings time stuff. Like, is that going to change? And
probably not.
Change? We'll
That's
see.
Been way too many years that we've been talking about that. So.
All right, on to this. A federal judge has blocked an Arkansas law requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in public school classrooms. The ruling says the mandate violates constitutional limits on religion in government settings, and state leaders say they plan to appeal. Keeping the issue is likely headed for higher courts. Similar laws in Texas and Louisiana are also facing legal challenges. The debate continues nationwide over religion's role in public education.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting. I think it's interesting too. We just got back from Washington, D.C., so it is interesting just looking at some of the monuments and references to God. And I mean, they're everywhere. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting. We'll see what of it.
Yeah, I did not know. I don't know if you know George Whitfield. He is a old school evangelist. I mean, dead and gone many, many moons ago, but like left a mark on this country, even though he was from England because of the Great Awakening. He apparently was friends, which I did not know, with Benjamin Franklin. And there's a movie coming out about them. So, I mean, to do away with our history seems ignorant, but I also understand that it is equal representation. I get that. So,
of course,
if you're going to have the 10 Commandments from the Holy Bible, you might also have to have the Quran. You know what I mean? Like, so equal representation. I get it. That is for the courts to decide. It's way above my pay grade, but I do think it's interesting nonetheless.
We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
So, I feel like if we were teaching the 10 Commandments in the home, it wouldn't so much matter whether they were in the school or not. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it could do some good. Yeah. Even kids these days just knowing what those are.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, those are good like life rules. Thou shalt not steal.
Yeah.
That keeps you in a lot of
if you,
lot of trouble.
As it turns out, if you obey the 10 Commandments, your life will just go better.
Right.
It just will. All right. Missouri courts are warning the public about a fake website that mimics CaseNet. If you are familiar with CaseNet, if you're a crime reporter, you certainly are. Also, if you've ever wondered, like, has Diana Tyndall ever been in big trouble?
Oh gosh, don't look me up. Just kidding. I'm not on there. That's not the real Diana Tyndall.
Right. Yeah, that's hilarious. Probably not. Maybe like a traffic ticket or something. But anyway, so if you are going or using CaseNet, you need to know that there are some sites that look very, very similar, but they are not legitimate. And it could expose you to viruses on your computer or malware. Several similar web addresses have popped up and are under investigation. The public is urged to use only the official case.net site for court information. Authorities are working to track down who is behind that ordeal.
Oh boy.
It's interesting because I'm familiar enough with CaseNet that like I know the one, but I looked up some of the fakes, if you will, like they'll pop up for you. You can tell a difference, but if it's not something that you use on a regular basis, it looks legit, you know? And it's a very basic site. So that makes it easier I think,
to duplicate.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
all right. Well, Springfield's Clean Green Citywide Cleanup Program is back ahead of major events this spring, including the Route 66 Centennial Celebration, a big deal here for Springfield. Volunteers are needed throughout April to help pick up litter and trash and beautify key areas across the city. Efforts will focus on high traffic corridors, downtown, and historic Route 66 locations. A special community cleanup is set for April 11th, along with the original route path, I think, for Route 66 that city leaders say. The goal is to welcome visitors with a clean and vibrant Springfield. And we've got some major headliners in terms of like Little Big Town coming, and we got some cool artists coming. And I can tell you when we hosted our We hosted a guy from Isesaki, Japan, one of our sister cities. And his number one thing he wanted to see, besides a church, he actually wanted to go to a church service, which I thought was so cool. But number 2 on his list was Route 66.
Oh,
He
cool.
wanted to see Route 66. And so this is a really big deal. I think maybe for us Springfield people were like, yeah, whatever, Route 66. But it's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
It will be huge.
Yeah. Ethan and I shot a documentary over it, like with a team of people, not single-handedly, but we learned how big of a deal it was around the world. It is Americana, and they see it in all these films. And yeah. Also, speaking of the Route 66 celebration, the World Cup is coming. So Kansas City is preparing for that. And we flew through, we were in Doha, like we went out into Doha, Qatar, whenever the World Cup was there. And it was clear to me that the whole city was on board cleaning up. I mean, it was spotless, the whole city. Noticeable
cigarette butt at all.
It was interesting because I feel like Springfield's pretty clean. Like there are times where driving on the highway, in fact, I think I brought it up one time, but I was like, the amount of litter yesterday was insane. To me, you recognize it when it's out of place because the norm is that the litter is not insane,
Right.
But so I feel like we're pretty clean, but like to have every single person attending to their zone, if you will, makes a massive difference.
I'm still trying to look up myself on CaseNet, by the way.
Yeah. Yes.
I can't get it to load. Maybe it's the fake website I'm looking up. Anyway,
it could be. It could be the fake website. Yes. Be advised.
Way to go. Clean up, Springfield.
All right. And finally, a new extended stay hotel is coming to South Springfield as development continues at the Ridge at Ward Branch. Plans are calling for a 4-story Wyndham Water Walk property with more than 120 rooms. Construction is expected to start in May, which is next month. 2 months now, I guess, 2 months away, and wrap up later this year. The hotel will offer flexible options for both short-term guest and longer-term residents. Developers say the project will add a new option to Springfield's growing hospitality market.
That's great. Good news.
It looks cool. Like the rendering of it looks really nice. So
I bet. It's a Wyndham property. They usually don't do a whole lot of shortcuts.
That's true. That's true. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Diana, thanks for being here.
Thursday.
And have a great Thursday. We do hope to see you back here tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. It is going to feel like a spring day in the Ozarks on this Thursday. We have fantastic weather conditions to talk about today, and it's starting out rather warm. We've got numbers in the mid-40s this morning, light jacket weather, maybe just a long sleeve shirt, and you won't even need that later this afternoon. We're warming to a high temperature in the upper 70s and even low 80s are possible in some places today. It's going to be a great day in the Ozarks. It is really going to give you some spring fever. Also today, we have a southwest wind becoming north in the afternoon. Frontal boundary moving through, but it won't mean much for us other than a wind shift. The winds remain light for us today. It should be a great day to get outdoors, and I'm expecting mostly sunny skies through the time frame. 78 degrees is my forecasted high temperature today in Springfield. It'll be a great one to get outdoors. As I said, we have a low pressure system moving to our north, and that will shift our winds today. It's about all we have to talk about in the 7-day forecast. There is not a whole lot happening here aside from a big warm up as we head into the weekend. We have high temperatures that could make it to the mid 80s as early as tomorrow, and it could be a near record setting weekend in the Ozarks with temperatures expected to make it to the mid, potentially even upper 80s a couple of days. It's going to feel almost hot around here for the weekend. I think it's going to be a big outdoor weekend in the Ozarks. Soak it up. It'll come with some sunshine, and winds should stay rather low, and relative humidity should remain low as well. We have very warm air in the forecast all the way through the weekend, and this is also kicking off a string of dry days across the Ozarks. In fact, much of the country is going to see some quiet weather over the next several days. Not a lot of big twists and turns in the jet stream, and that's going to keep things pretty tranquil for us, especially here in the middle part of the country. Today, sunshine, 78 degrees. It's going to be a great day. Overnight, nowhere near the freezing point. In fact, our low temperatures tonight will fall back to near 50 degrees. When you start at nearly 50 degrees, it is very easy to warm up, and we will do just that. 84, the forecasted high temperature on Friday with sunshine. We're going to see numbers fall to the mid-50s Friday night. We're back to the mid-80s on Saturday, and they're back for us, maybe even upper 80s in a few parts around the Ozarks on Sunday. Warm and staying warm through the weekend. Around the country, what's making headlines? It's the big heat wave in the west that continues to spread eastward through much of the country. We are also seeing critical fire weather conditions in the high plains today. And while a whole lot of the country is getting some breaks from the precip, where we do have some rain and even snowfall is happening up in the Great Lakes today and Friday. That's kind of the one area of the country that's getting some precip as we wrap up the work week forecast. All right, it's time for that Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. Here it is. Which planet in our solar system has a day longer than its year? Do you think that is A, Mercury, B, Venus, C, Mars, or D, Jupiter? Which planet has a day longer than its year? It's not a trick question, but the answer is B, Venus. A single rotation on Venus is 1 day. It takes about 243 Earth days, while it only takes about 225 Earth days to orbit the sun, which is 1 year. So technically, a day on Venus is longer than its year, and it rotates backward, meaning retrograde, compared to most planets. Now you know. Congrats if B, Venus, was your guess. Here's the next trivia question for you. Which animal has blue milk? Do you think that is A, a hippopotamus, B, a whale, some species, C, an elephant, or D, a rhinoceros? Which animal has blue milk? Take a stab at it. You can do that at the website. It's aroundtheozarks.com. I sure appreciate you listening early this morning. It's going to be a great day to get outdoors, plan to eat lunch outside, take a walk, something. Feel the warmth. Soak up the vitamin D. We all could use it after the cold snap from the weekend. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great one, everybody. I'll be right back here tomorrow morning to chat with you then. If you need weather info, make sure you check out the website. It's on the weather tab at aroundtheozarks.com. Have a great day. Enjoy the 78 degrees and the sunshine. I'll catch you right back here tomorrow morning.